You are listening to the You Get to Decide podcast with your host, Allison Cratchola Gallagher, episode number 33. Welcome to the You Get to Decide podcast. This is your life and business coach and host, Allison Cratchola Gallagher. I help all you high achievers out there feel content and confident so that you can feel happy now. Then you're just going to go out and create the life of your dreams faster. Through my journey, coaches have helped me completely transform my life, and now I get to help you do the same. Every week, we're going to talk tools, tips, and tricks to help you take consistent action based off the life you want. Because you really do get to decide your life. And I am here to remind you of that every week. So let's get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to You Get to Decide. How is your 2025 going? We are now in the last week of January. So I'm just wanted to give a check-in on how we're doing. My year is still starting off slow. I am getting back my momentum, but I was actually just coached on just how long it takes me to get my momentum back from just a week of Christmas. And that week, it does something to me. And I think, this is the season of hibernation. I've been getting coached by my one-on-one coach, life coach, about this is a season of hibernation when you're connected to earth and, harmony and all those things. Some believe in this, some don't, that it is just a slower time. And my workaholic brain says that's like no tolerance for that I should just hit the ground running January 1 and not stop. So it's kind of exploring what I want for the year, trusting that even starting off slower, that I can hit my goals, enjoying the process, getting creative with how I want to serve my audience, showing up for whatever I need to show up for in my life, and building new habits for the person that I want to be in 2025. And that's kind of how it's been going. But I did want to there was something that I wanted to talk about today. If you feel like January kind of ended up like last year did, that you had or you're not moving as quickly as you want to, if you're not feeling the shift you wish you felt, I think sometimes going into a new year, it's like, brand new us. It's all going to change. And if you're feeling discouraged after the first month, I want to offer some knowledge, some tools, some inspiration on why that might be happening, how to shift that. So I want to talk to you about your brain. And I don't know if I've ever talked in depth about this, but I just want to teach you and remind you of what your brain can do to you and why we try so hard to change our life or create a new habit, undo bad habits, set boundaries, remove people from our life that we wish we could remove, or remove ourselves from circumstances, and we just end up not doing that, and we kind of end up in the same place. I want to talk about why, some of the reasons that we do that. So first of all, the biggest problem I would say is that our brains are not wired to work towards a fulfilling goal that we have. That's not its job. For the most part, its job is to keep you safe and alive. And so when you walk into a room, it's scanning immediately. Everywhere you go, it's just scanning to see what could harm you. And it's creating thoughts to keep you from moving in those directions that it thinks is harming you. And so it isn't your friend. it's not wired to be your friend. You can wire it to be more of your friend with work, which is what I've done and I do, and that's what I do with my clients. But overall, the loudest part of our brain is, what we consider the toddler brain, the lizard brain. There's a lot of different words for it, but it's the oldest part of our brain that really never evolved. And I just want to remind you that fear has kept us alive generationally. Okay, you're here because your ancestors worried and had fear, so it does serve us. But the oldest part of our brain didn't evolve with us, and so it's still scanning the room and thinking things are going to kill us. It's not true. It kind of never evolved with the building of our capacity as humans through generations. We are just capable of so much more, and that part of our brain didn't evolve with us. And so it's always, it's a negative bias to keep us stuck. Like, if a new neighbor moves into your neighborhood and you're talking yourself out of going to meet them, your brain is making all kinds of excuses of why you shouldn't do that, right? It's telling you it's not safe. Like, whatever the random situations are that are not safe, right? But our brain is putting us into a discomfort that keeps us from doing it. Okay. Whether it's the fear of judgment, the fear of looking like an idiot. I don't know what to say. What do I do? Like, whatever the new conversations are or opportunities are, or the habits that you want to create, the things you want to do in 2025 that maybe you've already are struggling to do. So I just want to kind of give you insight to why that might be happening, and then some tools to move in a different direction, right? So your brain loves mediocrity. A good day to your brain is that you didn't do a whole lot of new things. You did what you always do. You weren't challenged. I'm going to turn up my mic a little bit. You weren't really challenged. Nothing came across your desk that was new. You didn't use much energy, right? It wants you to, expend small amounts of energy. It thinks it's keeping you safe by doing that. And it likes to predict what's going to happen because that to your brain is safe. Okay. So what we did yesterday, day before kept us alive. We're alive today because that's what we did. Which is why when you make a new financial goal, a relationship goal, a business goal, any type of personal goal that you've never succeeded at or actually never tried to attain, your brain's going to offer you disbelieving thoughts to talk you out of it, tell you it's not going to work. It's going to offer overwhelm, confusion, frustration, doubt. Right? So if you've been married and your marriage went south, it's going to do what it can moving forward to protect you from getting into a relationship because it's now you feel like there's a risk, right? Because if our marriage went south, then it's going to put a protective wall around you so that doesn't happen again, right? If that's why people might carry extra weight. They were bullied or maybe they were sexually molested. And so now carrying weight on us, whether we want to or not, this did not happen to me, but I know enough about human behavior that if you're sometimes people carry extra weight to protect themselves. It's like a wall, right? And this is something that the brain does to protect us, to keep us alive. That's what it's thinking it's doing. Okay. And so whatever worked in the past has to work. We have to continue to do, or if we were harmed in the past, we have to do whatever we can to avoid that. Okay. And harming could be any type of trauma. Okay. Bullying, maybe abandonment, heartbreak, or physical harm, bankruptcy, you could just brainstorm any type of trauma or really core memory of a awful event. Okay. So this is one of the reasons why it is so hard to make a shift, okay? Especially if we're coming off of failure after failure after failure, quote unquote. I don't look at anything as failure. I just look at it as information. And honestly, the more you fail at something, the more knowledge you have about it, so the more likely you're going to succeed in the future. Because if you believe it's possible, if you're running the show and not your brain, your brain's going to say, oh, you failed so many times, don't even try again. Or you're just broken. It's just not going to work. That's if your brain is leading your life. Okay? The toddler brain, the lizard brain, the part of your brain that's supposed to just keep you alive. Okay? The part of your brain that hasn't evolved. If you're running the show, you can look at it with intellect from your prefrontal cortex, okay? The front part of your brain. I'm tapping on the front of my head. The conscious part of yourself, and say, well, if I failed 10 times at that, I know 10 more times, 10 more routes not to take. So let me try the 11th route with full belief that because you have all that information of what didn't work, you absolutely have enough information of what will work, and you're that much closer, right? So you get to decide which part of the brain is going to speak the loudest, okay? And so nothing has gone wrong because you have a negative bias brain, okay? That's just how they're built. But you still get to decide which thoughts you want to believe, okay? So, and this is the second problem challenge of our brain, okay? So 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, 40 to 50 a minute are what's happening behind the scenes, okay? And most of them are the same ones on repeat, and they're so buried in our subconscious, we don't know they're there. And they are the ones ending up running the show, processing, evaluating, and reacting. And because we react from our thoughts, and if it's the same thoughts over and over, we end up reacting in the same way. And those same thoughts on repeat are what created our beliefs, okay? Whether we've created those beliefs or they were handed to us, they're in there, and they're probably pretty deep. And the problem with this is we take action based on our beliefs. 90 to 95% of humans act based on how they feel coming from their thoughts, right? So our thoughts create our feelings, create our actions, create our results. But the problem is, majority of humans act based on how they feel came from a thought that they didn't even know they had, or they didn't even know wasn't fact-based, right? Your brain is not spitting facts at you at all, like ever. It's spitting out beliefs that you're acting as truth. And then whatever that belief creates, that's how people act, which is why the results ends up being less than what we want, especially if it's a belief that doesn't serve us, or if it's a belief coming from a place of impossibility of whatever we're looking to achieve in our life. Create the business, create a new habit, lose weight, go out and make money, okay? Write a book, run a marathon, or just set boundaries with our partner, right? Or with our kids. Get the resume out into the world, go back to school, whatever they are, okay? So, but there is a very small, right? 90 to 95% of the majority of humans, that's how they act. They act based on how the thought that's coming to them immediately, right? It's impulsive reaction. So if the brain is sending you a thought that doesn't feel good, we're going to act based on not feeling good. Okay, so if our brain tells us, what if we meet the neighbor and they don't like us? We're not going to meet the neighbor, because that feeling of not being liked is now governing the show. We don't know that this is going on behind the scenes, and that's just one little stupid scenario, let alone starting a business, let alone putting yourself out there on social media to sell a product. Okay, let alone walking into the gym for the first time or calling up the trainer or setting that first boundary, sticking up for yourself and your partnership. Okay, or that first sales offer, that first phone call to make that sale, or the 100th phone call to make the sale. If the belief hasn't changed, it's still going to be just as painful. Okay? But I am in, okay, and it is possible to be in that 5 to 10% that act based on what you want to think and feel, that you're so aware of what your thoughts are creating in you, feeling wise. Okay, 2 things. Your brain offers you a thought and you don't feel motivated, right? Or you feel fear, doubt. Okay? But that 5 to 10% analyzes that and says, do I want to act based on this? This is the result I want, but I have doubt. And you start to explore and question where the doubt is coming from, or you act, regardless of how you feel, you act based on the result you want. Okay? Because it's called self-awareness. We've slowed it down enough to analyze our thoughts, analyze our feelings, and always go for what the result is we want and work on the belief that it's possible, okay? So instead of just going with whatever we feel in the moment, coming from a thought that we don't maybe even know is there, but it's creating, it's creating anxiousness, it's creating fear, it's creating doubt, it's creating detachment from whatever we're doing. It's creating discomfort in our body, and then we check out. We quit. Okay, we derail ourselves. We tell ourselves we'll start tomorrow. It's all coming from a feeling, okay, from a thought. Okay, so we can analyze those thoughts, figure out where they're coming from, change them at the core, okay, which is, of course, something that I do, okay, but also act based on how we want or purposely choose to think and feel, okay? So if there's a result I want, what do I have to feel and think to attain that result, okay? And then you practice thinking and feeling that. Okay, staying present, checking in. I have a coach who can, because I can, of course, derail myself, right? So I have coaches to help me check in with where I'm feeling, because my brain all day is trying to derail me. All day. Some days it wins. Most days it does not. Okay, but I'm a human being. None of it is linear. Okay, and I don't rest in the win very often. It's always setting the next bar. Okay, and so new level, new devil. When you expand your capacity, now there's new doubts, new fears that are always going to happen, because my brain is just like yours. It's wired to keep me safe. It's like, this isn't safe. Posting on social media is not safe. Speaking in front of a room is not safe. I do a lot of things that my brain's not happy about. Okay. But I've taught it that this is where we're going. So get on board. Okay. And sometimes it's going to talk me out of doing certain things, or try to. Okay. This is why you have a whole lot of voices in the head, because it's our conscious, our higher self that wants to act a certain way. And then it's the toddler brain, the lizard brain, the oldest part of our brain, the one that's just supposed to keep us alive. That's like scanning the room and is like, nope, can't do that. Nope, don't talk to that new person in the room. Nope, they're too smart. Nope, imposter syndrome, all those things. Okay. I want you to think about your fears. Have they ever been as big? Have you ever had a result of when you're worried about something, has it ever actually come true? And what did that look like? Was it as bad as you thought? Was it worse than you thought? Did it ever even happen? Okay. So I want, in order to, if you're disappointed with your January, okay, you might be like, yes, I'm rocking, I'm doing well. Great. Keep going and remind yourself to be the 5 to 10% that you're going to purposely choose what you want to think and feel to create the result you want. Okay? So for me, it's excitement, coming from excitement. I tell my clients certainty, confidence, okay, coming from thoughts, I'm the expert, I can help this person, people want to hear what I have to say, right? I've shared before, I record podcasts, I just imagine thousands and thousands of people logging on to listen, and I have no evidence of that, but I just don't give a shit, because that thought feels good to me. It makes me feel valued. It makes me feel qualified. It makes me feel excited to record my podcast. And I'm just going to keep rolling like that until I have that evidence. That's it. Okay. And so you can decide to believe a thought that you have no evidence of. And that is, the unintentional thought model is whatever your brain is offering you. And you're just running with it, right? This isn't working. I'm not good enough. I need to know more. I need to learn more before I do X. Or I'm not strong enough to set a boundary. I don't know enough to walk into the gym. I don't have enough time to run a marathon. Right? And I just put an email together about failing ahead of time. Like, that's what that is. It's just failing ahead of time. You're just talking yourself out of it before you even give yourself a chance to try. Right? Because maybe I don't have enough time to run a marathon gives you relief. Maybe the feeling is relief. And so the action is, oh, I got my way out. I don't have to even try. Right? And then the result is you don't do it. Okay? Versus, if the result is no matter what, I want to be a person that runs a marathon, what action do you have to take? What thoughts do you have to think in order to have the result? Okay? I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to start small. I can find the time. And, and then the action is motivation, confidence, excitement, compassion, curiosity, empowerment, whatever the feelings are that drive the action of going to go run, right? Or finding the time to run. Okay. So that's like just one little example. So I want to help you basically, depending on how your January has looked and what you're thinking of for 2025, if you are feeling discouraged, if you're scared to set a goal, there's goal aversion is a real thing. You don't want to set the goal because maybe you've never achieved the goal, or you don't even know how to go about trying to achieve the goal. What if you truly believed you are capable of anything and everything in pursuit of your fulfillment? I'll say it again. What if you truly believed you are capable of anything and everything in the pursuit of your own fulfillment? What would the sentences be? What would the thoughts be? Write them down. What actions would you be taking right now? This is the power of coaching. Okay? Because We haven't achieved the goal yet because we're not that person yet, okay? And so what is that person thinking, feeling, doing, being that you're not yet? Who is the version of you? I'm going to leave you with this. This is a short one today. But who is the version of you that has attained the goal? Because you have to be that person before you have the evidence. Does that make sense? The evidence doesn't come and then you become the person. No. You have to be the person first. And the person comes from the beliefs. Okay? So if you are afraid of that 2025 is going to look like 2024, the next right step for you is literally a free conversation with me. And we're really going to dig through why you're stuck. Because if you're not finding reasons that you're stuck, they're there. They are there. You're not broken. You're not unworthy. You're not dumb. You're not incapable. There are circumstances in your life that you're seeing as reasons to keep you stuck. Okay? And it's just your brain. Nothing has gone wrong. It's your brain doing it to you. You might know the reasons and you need help working your way through them. Okay, circumstances, you might need extra help working your way through them. Nothing wrong with that. I help a ton of my clients with that. Okay, but if you don't know or think you can't achieve what you want to achieve, don't sell yourself short. Literally, let's have an hour conversation and we will discuss what's actually truly possible for you. Because literally that is my job as a coach, is to help you figure out the road to get where you want to go. A lot of it I can educate, right? Sales, business, money blocks, relationship with food, relationship with your body. Yes, all those things I've actually worked through. But your circumstance is unique to you. And if you have something in your heart that you want to do, right? Or if you have a pain point in your life that you're struggling to remove yourself from, and you don't see a way out, get on my calendar. It's free to explore it. And just that hour together, you will learn so much about yourself. So if you are concerned that your January was kind of like okay, but you had goals and big expectations for this year and you're feeling maybe some defeat, maybe impossibility, maybe frustration, maybe fear of setting the goal, literally the best time you could spend is an hour with me and you will walk away with so much information. Okay, whether you work with me or not, okay? But I guarantee, something I do guarantee is that you will move faster in whatever way you want to move in your life working with me. That's the one thing I can guarantee, okay? This is an intangible, right? So there is no physical guarantee, though there might even be some guarantee, dropping some weight maybe. But I guarantee, my first coach said, you're getting on the rocket ship when I hired her. And that's what it is. It is the rocket ship to achieving your goals or to becoming the person that can achieve the goal. That's the rocket ship. And it's powerful shit. So I hope this has helped answer those questions for yourself. What if you truly believed you are capable of anything and everything in pursuit of your fulfillment? What would the thoughts be that you would truly think? Truly, like believe the thoughts, not just anything. What actions would you be taking? What habits, the person's already achieved the thing. What habits do they have? How are they being, thinking, doing? Okay, be the person. And then you get the evidence. You have to be the person first. Okay, there's faith there. But I can help you if you want help. I am here. But I hope that some education about your brain, about why it's so hard to undo habits and create new habits and to start something new and do things that are feeling uncomfortable. You know, you can decide just to do it feeling uncomfortable. Okay. Think based on the results you want, not just whatever you feel. And then you act based on how you feel straight from what your brain is offering you. Don't be that 95%. Don't be like that. Know better. Do better for your life. Know that when you look back, you played full out. And playing full out means you running the show. You being the leader of your life. And not the toddler, the old part of your brain that never evolved. That's not what I want for you. And I hope that that's not what you want for yourself. I'm assuming if you listen to this podcast, you want to be better, do better for yourself. And I am here for all of it. It is my purpose, 1000%. So I love you all. Wishing you all a fantastic last few days of January. And I will see you next week. Bye, guys. One more thing. If you're loving this content, I would love for you to review wherever you're listening. Share this with a fellow amazing human that might need some extra support. And I'd love your feedback. If you're looking to give it, you can reach me at coaching@AllisonGallagher.com. If you're curious on how I can help you and what it would look like to work together, if you want to accelerate your goals, if you have goals, just don't know where to start, or if you just know you're meant for more, we would start with a free scheduled call. You would tell me where you are and where you wish you were. And by the end of that call, you're going to have relief and clarity, even some confidence, because you're going to know your action steps to take next. Then you can decide if working with me is the right fit or not. Either way, you're going to have all the information you need to move forward. To schedule a call, you can follow the link in my show notes or go to AllisonGallagher.com for more information. You've been listening to the You Get to Decide podcast with your host, Allison Cratchola Gallagher. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.